Hello, I'm Llewellyn King, the host of White House Chronicle, which is coming right up. But first, a few thoughts of my own. I was watching, as many of you have been watching, with horror, the situation in the eastern Congo, the millions of refugees dying of starvation, dying of dehydration, nowhere to sleep, no shelter, and in the middle of it, cameramen and reporters. I mention this not because the cameramen and reporters are suffering the same privations as the poor people of the Congo, but because they're there in great difficulty telling us what is going on. And I mention it because we've just come through a political season where beating up on the press has been a very popular undertaking. And yet the press, maligned, attacked, assumed to be partisan, always assumed to be partisan, does the best it can. And it does the best it can in a time when itself is not healthy. In Washington here, the old bureau structure with bureau chiefs and reporters has collapsed. There are bureaus that had 15 people, now have 2. There are bureaus that simply have gone away. The Washington Press Corps, without the bureaus, is not the Washington Press Corps. It's a few people from big news organizations, not from the important ones, not from Baltimore and San Diego and San Francisco and Los Angeles and Chicago. From every worthwhile city in the country, we used to have bureaus with bureau chiefs who were the backbone of reporting, who kept the government honest, the institutions honest, and sometimes were able to bring a great deal of transparency to the dark where institutions like to carry out their work. We're in a terrible time. Very soon, most publications and a lot of television outlets will not have someone going to a place like the Eastern Congo because they can't afford it, and because new, fresh talent is not being encouraged to come in to the great challenge, the great excitement, the huge adventure that is journalism. When you see somebody at a flood, after an earthquake, or in the middle of a human catastrophe like Darfur or the Congo, remember, that is the despised mainstream reporter doing his best for you in difficult circumstance. We have a very special program today. We're going to be talking to one of the most interesting authors I know, a man who speaks, I believe, 6 languages fluently, is a citizen of the world in the true sense of that. Not that he went on vacation in a lot of interesting places, but that bits of his life belong to other parts of the world. I think you will find him one of the most compelling guests we have had on this program.